Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Coastal Fellowship. This is a place where many paths meet, where we honor the rich tapestry of spiritual traditions, and where all are welcome to explore their own connection to the sacred. We are glad whether you are here to seek, to remember, or simply be present, we are glad you've joined us. Welcome. I am Leslie Runnels. I use she, her pronouns. I'm joined with Jason Pesh and accompanist Megan Smith, Karen Baggett as our song leader, and Ken and Brittany making all the AV Zoom camera magic today. Thank you all. If you are visiting us for the first or second time today, would you raise your hands that we may welcome you? Beautiful. And if you're so inclined, we can bring the microphone around for you to introduce yourself so that we know how you got here.
It may have disconnected. Green means good.
Yeah, that's him.
I've worked a mic before. Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Stormy Day. I use she, her pronouns when the wig is on, because the gig is on. I am an ambassador for Drag Story Hour. I don't know if anyone's familiar, but I think after today, you might be. I'm here with my lovely family and some who are already here, and I'm very excited to be here and read to y'all today, if you like that sort of thing.
Yay. Anybody else would like to introduce themselves?
Hi, my name is Elise. I'm the director of Drag Story Hour Triangle, and I am here. I brought Stormy here to you guys today. My family is here with me. They were so nice to get up at 6 in the morning to drive 2.5 hours down here. The kid's with me because he gets to go to the aquarium afterwards. So we're really excited. This is our chapter's first of 5 throughout the state. The Charlotte chapter will bring the other 5, so we'll have 10 at 10 different UU churches throughout the state.
That's
We're
amazing.
really excited. Yes.
Wonderful.
My name is Ken Sloan. I am Barbara's baby brother.
Aww.
And we're here with my wife Bridget, and we're here from Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh,
And
well.
we have been here before, but it's been a couple of years, and so we're glad to be back with you and glad that everything's going so well with the church.
Welcome back.
Anyone else?
Anybody else? All right, we'll take it to the tech team so we can hear who's joining us on Zoom.
We have Dan Phillips, Erica Jimenez, Karen Reddy, Kay, and Daryl Lynch.
Beautiful. Welcome, everybody. All right, and I do have a few announcements today. UCF, this church, will be holding a blood drive on Wednesday, December 4th, with the goal of 21 donations. Right now, we only have 12, so we need some people to sign up. You get to come, you hang out, you lay on a nice little couch, and you get some cookies and stuff afterwards. So who doesn't want to do that, right? It's very important because the western part of the state has had to cancel their blood drives, so we need to give it a little bit extra more to help the state. And also you get a pair of special socks afterwards too, so. Christine Winslow from the Twisted Sisters delivered 235 hats, scarves, slippers, bags, etc., for us to make our Christmas bags. And some of those bags this year are going to be going to Beach House, and I invite now Heather Lawson from Beach House to come up and share a little bit more about their community.
Good morning. I was here last year to thank you all last year and describe a little bit about what we do. I'm Heather Lawson. I'm a qualified mental health professional at the Beach House, and along with my coordinator, Robert Taylor, we oversee the psychosocial rehabilitation program that serves mentally disabled adults. Basically, what we do is we provide a safe and empathetic environment where our clients practice their social and mental health skills and while aiming for their goals as the individual that they are. We are a group, but each person is an individual, and we strive to help each of them as well as keep the group cohesive. We've all become a family. We celebrate birthdays together, all holidays together. We've truly become a family. I am definitely not out of line in saying how overjoyed each of our members, our clients, are receiving the yearly knit bags that your fellowship provides. Each of our clients is on a very limited income. For example, some of them only receive $66 a month and that is for their hygiene products, anything that they might need. We take a bi-weekly trip to Walmart for them to purchase. Sometimes they have a little extra, sometimes they don't. Some people do have extra, and those who do have extra sometimes give to other clients, but they are on very, very, very limited incomes. They really don't even understand or entertain the concept of financial comfort, much less anything extraordinary. They never expect gifts. They don't feel like they're entitled to such, so they're extremely gracious when they receive anything. Your fellowship, you've been selfless and worked very hard to fill these bags every Christmas, and I've answered the phone many years, asking how many we need, and always a few extra are delivered just in case we get some extra clients in, which we do sometimes get some extra clients, or sometimes one of their family members is in need. So I come from Southern California, but I've been here for over 20 years, 23 actually now. Maybe that's not a lifetime to some of you, but for me, it's a new lifetime for me. The concept of there's a church on every corner here is so true and so different from California. This fellowship chose to reach out to our clients, and we greatly appreciate it. For whatever reason you chose the Beach House, I can speak for all of them, and I know them well enough to imagine how thankful they really are for each and every one of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you for the work you do for the community as well. The other thing is it's Poinsettia time. This is a small fundraiser for the church, and there are forms available. There's some in the social hall, some out front, for you to be able to sign up to purchase a poinsettia or 10 for your family. And the last announcement I have is that our service today and kind of all month long, we've been listening to Indigenous voices. And Joellen Essex has come up with some Yupon tea for coffee hour. This is a native plant that was a very valuable trading commodity for local tribes. And they used it for ceremonies and for daily use. There's going to be some during coffee hour. It does have caffeine, so parents beware. We invite everyone in the sanctuary to now please silence or turn off your cell phone to avoid any interference, and those of you on Zoom can turn off your cameras so we have good bandwidth for you. And now it is your turn to turn and greet each other. Come, you accidental pilgrims, you who find yourself on a journey of surprise and wonder. Come, you who emerge into this place as an act of liberation. Come, you who seek a life of mindfulness and a place to test your thoughts. Come, you who bring hearts of all kinds, heavy hearts, rusty hearts, hearts broken up in revelation, hearts full of love to share. Come, you who seek courage, and you who have more courage than you realize. Come, you who claim your truth. Come, you who have been in a bubble, you who are poised for transformation. Come, each one of you. And now let us say these words together. Come, let us worship together.
All right. We are not the first people to worship on this land. We acknowledge the first people and spirits of this land, the Nusiak and Lumbee peoples. The Nusiak, from which the Neuse River gets its name, were forced to leave the area due to conflicts with English settlers and local rivals in the 18th century. The Lumbee, centered around the Lumber River, further west of here, were recognized as a tribe in 1956, but were denied any federal benefits and are still fighting for them to this day. We acknowledge the people and spirits of this land. And now we light our chalice. Get to play with fire. Okay. All right. We light this chalice to help us move from ignorance to wisdom, to help us move from bondage to freedom. Today and the days to come. The peace candle. And we also light our peace candle to remind ourselves, excuse me, that peace is a process that requires work, and that peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. Uh-oh. No more peace. Oh, a little wax on you? And now please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 346. Come sing a song with me.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come
Every week, we make space and time to be human and celebrate our joys and grieve our sorrows together. Should you wish to share a personal joy or sorrow about a person or persons in your life, there is paper at the table in the corner there that you can write it on, and then I will share it with the congregation afterwards. And you may now line up along this wall and along this aisle, coming to take a stone and drop it into the water. We invite you to our stones and water ritual. ask Jason to put in 2 stones for community. We unapologetically reject any effort to erase transgender people. We affirm the inherent worth and dignity and humanity of our trans siblings. 1 more stone in recognition that the people of Palestine wake up each day to an ongoing genocide of their people and their culture. May peace find a way. So Xander is starving at A school and would love food care packages. So he's in the military, right? That's A school. So he's probably missing home, missing mom. So we will see if we can get some food care to him. Here is a joy. My band Neuro Kid has a gig at Millhouse Brewing on December 7th. And another joy is that Jakari is starting speech class to help with expressive speech. Wonderful. This becomes holy water when it is the tears of your joys and your concerns shared together. This community witnesses your joys, your concerns, even the ones not spoken aloud or those that are just slowly forming in your heart. May you know you are held in love, that you are not alone, whether you are in grief or in celebration. We are here for each other. May you know love, may you know peace, and may you know you are safe. All right, a little music here. Thank you, Megan. And we want to welcome a very special guest with us today to read our Time for All Ages. Stormy Day is a daughter of Durham's House of Cox, the social justice drag family of Durham, North Carolina. Welcome. Stormy is a torrential force of energy, education, including science, and entertainment. Stormy is queen for community first and a good time always. Welcome, Stormy.
How is everyone again? I haven't been in a church in a minute, I must be honest. But if I may the church say amen? Thank you. I'm happy to be here with family, both old and new. in behalf of Drag Story Hour, which is a wonderful program that has been fortunate enough to make my life so open and so magical. The traditions that we all keep and all have are so important. Even in youth, they start as actions, and those actions become the ways in which we find our community and take care of our community. Traditions are nothing without the work behind them, and it is people like yourselves that make me feel welcomed and so happy to be here. So without much further ado, I am reading Giving Thanks, a Native American Good Morning Message. It is written by Chief Jake Swamp and illustrated by Erwin Printup Jr. To be a human being is an honor, and we offer thanksgiving for all the gifts of life. Mother Earth, we thank you for giving us everything we need. Thank you, deep blue waters around Mother Earth, for you are the force that takes thirst away from all living things. We give thanks to green grasses that feel so good against our bare feet for the cool beauty you bring to Mother Earth's floor. Thank you, good foods from Mother Earth, our life sustainers, for making us happy when we are hungry. Fruits and berries, we thank you for your color and sweetness. We are all thankful to good medicine, herbs for healing us when we are sick. Thank you, all the animals in the world, for keeping our precious forests clean. All the trees in the world, we are thankful for the shade and warmth you give us. Thank you, all the birds in the world, for singing your beautiful songs for all to enjoy. We give thanks to you, gentle four winds, for bringing clean air for us to breathe from the four directions. Thank you, Grandfather Thunder beings, for bringing rains to help all living things grow. Elder brother, sun, we send thanks for shining your light and warming Mother Earth. Thank you, Grandmother Moon, for growing full every month to light the darkness for children and sparkling waters. We give you thanks, twinkling stars, for making the night sky so beautiful and for sprinkling morning dewdrops on the plants. Spirit protectors of our past and present, we thank you for showing us ways to live in peace and harmony with one another. And most of all, thank you, Great Spirit, for giving us all these wonderful gifts, so we will be happy and healthy every day and every night. And that was giving thanks. I was told, and if I may have the mic for 2 more seconds, that science is very popular amongst you. I would like to point out that the traditions of many Native peoples are still being proven to be a part of the inner workings of the world today. The thunder beings that bring nutrition to the earth bring nitrates and fixate in the soil so that they can be uptaken by plants and their root systems. Dew is very important, for many plants depend on dew for their own water. And it is not lost on me that the four winds hearken to the four hemispheres of our earth and the systems that govern it. So I always like to remind that in our traditions, though they may seem superficial at first, they always come for deeper inner workings. So thank you on behalf of Drag Story Hour for allowing me to share the tradition of drag and also the tradition of reading to everyone here.
And now I believe, yes, just want to say that we're going to have Drag Story Hour after worship service today, 12 o'clock in here. Come join, come listen, come learn, come play, come be in beauty and joy and vibrancy, because we need that. Right now, we need that so much. So please come be fed. And now let's sing our children to their classes with the blessing song. Sing what you do, matters what you do. Beauty you love, be what you do, and you don't have to do it alone. It's a blessing I was born, and it matters what I do. God is a piece of the truth. Beauty you love, be what you do. I don't have to do it alone. We were born, and it matters what we do. What we know about God is a piece of the truth. The beauty you love, be what we do, and we don't have to do it alone. Please join me in a few minutes for silence and meditation. We'll take 3 deep, long breaths together. Silence will lead us into the meditation, and music will lead us out. So begin. Thank you, Megan. I attended a post-election organizing meeting just a few days ago, and as my little breakout group on Zoom, we were checking in with each other, and one of the prompts was, what possibilities are you seeing that are feeding your organizing joy right now? I shared about how my church was hosting a drag story hour, and big surprised looks on their faces. Your church is having a drag story hour? What church does that? So when I shared who we are, a small Unitarian Universalist congregation in a very conservative area. And they were so impressed with us. I forget that it's a big deal that we, this little church, are doing this. I also shared that I was saddened that we had to worry so much about advertising. Could we publicize it or not? And about security, and that our security team wouldn't be able to really watch the show because they might have that headset, well, the real headset, the mindset of security, right? And what that might do to their nervous system right now. But I'm very grateful that they're here to make sure that we are all safe. The organizers asked if we had any local groups that could run security for us. And I said, I don't really know. There were a couple of people that reached out to our Facebook page after the election to say that they would be here to support us. But I wonder, how do we build that mutual support here in this community? Because we're gonna need it. What do we need to build so that we can thrive together? And then another person mentioned what was giving them organizing joy, and she talked about the young minister of parliament in New Zealand who ripped up a bill in half that had been presented that would remove more rights of Indigenous people. And then she led a haka right there on the floor of Parliament. I get chills just thinking about it. I want to share with you a video about that, because it's amazing, and it is what is now giving me organizing joy. She speaks in the Maori language at the beginning, which translates to, "O Governor, you're only but visitors here."
Only other protest longer than that was against the South African rugby team in the 1980s, when over 150,000 people gathered to protest against apartheid.
Is that giving you any organizing joy? How about that? Like, love it. Yes. In the wake of this disappointing election, I'm storing up moments like these. In our drag story hour, the Maori people fighting loudly for their rights in their own damn land. Joy, joy, joy. Because 'tis the season, right? To see the reasons that we continue to organize for the world we know we can be. This month, we've been listening to Indigenous people, elders, poets, musicians, and Robin Wall Kimmerer, one of my favorite authors of Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teaching of Plants. Robin Wall Kimmerer is a member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. She also has European ancestry, and she writes to us about the honorable harvest. Robin, who I feel on a first-name basis with now, shares a story of giving a lecture at a private college where tuition ran upwards of $40,000 a year. She told them a traditional story of the years when the corn harvests were so plentiful that the caches were full. The fields had been so generous with the villagers that the people scarcely needed to work, so they didn't. The people became so lazy that they let the time for corn ceremonies go without a single song of gratitude. They began to use the corn in ways the three sisters had not intended when they gave the people corn as a sacred gift of food. They burned it for fuel when they couldn't be bothered to cut firewood. The dogs dragged it off from untidy heaps the people made instead of storing the harvest in secure granaries. No one stopped the kids when they kicked ears around the villages in their games. Saddened by the lack of respect, the corn spirit decided to leave. At first, the people didn't even notice, but the next year, the cornfields were nothing but weeds. The caches were nearly empty, and the grain that had been untended was moldy and mouse-chewed. There was nothing to eat. The people sat about in despair, growing thinner and thinner. When they abandoned gratitude, the gifts abandoned them. One small child walked out from the village and wandered for hungry days until he found the corn spirit in a sunlight clearing in the woods. He begged her to return to his people. She smiled kindly at him and instructed him to teach his people the gratitude and respect they had forgotten. Only then would she return. He did as she asked, and after a hard winter without corn, to remind them of the cost, she returned to them in the spring. Some of Robin's students rolled their eyes as they heard this story, as they cannot imagine such a thing. The aisles of the grocery stores are always well stocked. At the reception afterwards, the students filled their styrofoam plates with the usual fare. They exchanged questions and comments while balancing plastic cups of punch. The students grazed on cheese and crackers, mountains of cut vegetables, buckets of dip. There was enough food to feed a small village. The leftovers were swept into trash bins conveniently located next to the tables. Robin shares that one student, a beautiful young girl with dark hair tied up in a headscarf, was hanging back from the discussion, waiting her turn. When nearly everyone had left, she approached Robin, gesturing with an apologetic smile at the wasted remains of the reception. "I don't want you to think no one understands what you were saying," she said. "I do. You sound like my grandmother back in my village in Turkey. In her house, we learned that everything we put in our mouths, everything that allows us to live, is the gift of another life. I remember lying with her at night as she made us thank the rafters of her house and the wool blankets we slept in. My grandmother wouldn't let us forget that these are all gifts, which is why you take care of everything, to show respect for that life. In my grandmother's house, we were taught to kiss the rice. If a single grain fell to the ground, we learned to pick it up and kiss it to show we meant no disrespect in wasting it. But here, no one would understand to kiss the grain of rice." And I agree, not many of us would kiss a grain of rice. Indeed, our grocery stores are plentifully stocked, a bounty of products, always being restocked to never show a lack of anything. It's hard to think of gratitude when the shelves are stocked so full. Is it easier to be grateful when there is less? Because we might have some generational memory of what it meant to be hungry and to not have enough. Robin has written down the guidelines for an indigenous tradition of the honorable harvest. Even though they are not written down or even consistently spoken of as a whole, they are reinforced in small acts of daily life. Before I share those, I invite our Unitarian Coastal Fellowship Choir to join us on the chancel for our special music, Keepers of the Earth.
This is a song of gratitude and a song of a call to action. And we invite you to join us when a verse appears on the screen. This is by Unitarian Universalist composer Joyce Poley, Keepers of the Earth.
So beautiful. Thank you, and thank you for letting us sing along. The ways of the honorable harvest begin with, know the ways of the ones who take care of you so that you may take care of them. But do we know the ways of the plants and the animals who take care of us by providing nutrition for our bodies or medicine for our ailments? Y'all might remember when I shared about the pecan trees before. Learning about the ways the pecan tree has changed how I feel about pecans. And I do take care of my pecan tree back home. I love it and I care for it. But at the grocery store, so much harder to think this way. Next, introduce yourself. Be accountable as the one who comes asking for life. The indigenous way is to introduce yourself to the forest, the field, the garden, as you come to harvest. Let them know you are the one who is coming, who is asking from them to give their life for yours. So I tried this in the grocery store. As I entered the produce section at Lowe's, there was such an array of vegetables, the greens, the yellows, the reds, the purples, the whites, and I just scanned them, recognizing them as who they were. And I silently introduced myself to them, and I thanked them for being there, and I made my harvest, my selection, and it felt different. It felt more honorable, more respectful, more aware of the offering of the vegetables. But in the canned and packaged foods aisle, I could not find a way to do this. Those lives in the cans are just too separated from my own. I couldn't find a way to connect with them in this way. Ask permission, abide by the answer. When Robin is harvesting, she asks permission to show respect for the personhood of the plant, but it is also an assessment of the well-being of the population of plants. Her analytical left side of the brain has all the sciencey stuff to help her determine if it's okay to harvest or if the plants need a little longer to increase the harvest and protect the land. Her right side of the brain is listening for something else, a sense of generosity, an open-handed radiance that says, take me, or sometimes a tight-lipped recalcitrance that makes her put her trowel away. What if the answer you hear when you go to harvest is no? Have you ever heard a no when you harvest, either in your garden or in the market or in the mall? Do you hear the yeses? Sometimes I do. Sometimes the no I hear is really about money. No, you don't need another pair of yoga pants. How different it would feel to look at pants in the mall and try and retrace them to their personhood. Did they start out as a plant? Which one? Cotton? The silk from a worm? Is spandex a plant? Where have these pants been along the way? A factory? Who sewed them? A machine on autopilot or guided by the hands of a worker? Where did they go then? Packed into a box made of cardboard? Where did the cardboard come from? What type of tree gave its life for that cardboard box? Was it a pecan tree? Never take the first, never take the last. Robin shares a story of a medicine woman who was getting ready to make her rounds in the community and wanted to make sure she had all the plants that she needed. She wanted some snake root, and she hunted in the forest, and she finally found a plant. But she looked around to make sure there was more, and there was no more near there. So she didn't pick any, but she was a little worried about it. As she was finishing up, she realized she had left her little trowel somewhere, and she went back to find it, saw the little red handle, and right next to it was another clumping of snake root. So she introduces herself to the plant. She knows it's not the first. She knows it's not the last. And she hears the yes, and she tucks it away in her pouch. And sure enough, on her rounds that day was a young woman who needed that snake root for her healing. Take only what you need, Take only that which is given. I noticed on my calendar that shows the holidays that Black Friday is shown as a holiday. So I scoffed and I growled because this one really gets me in many ways. You may have seen movies that show up around holiday time when parents are anxiously trying to find that doll or that video game or that toy that has been highly marketed and marketed in a way that you have to fight to get one of those coveted items. And after that item is found and purchased and wrapped and given, how long is it coveted after that? Black Friday has an interesting history and has grown in ways that seem to disrespect the honorable harvest. Most of that growth began in the early 2000s when stores opened at 6 a.m. But now in big cities and large retail stores, they are opening at midnight to invite in those eager shoppers. Black Friday is also used as a term to indicate when a store has moved out of the red, right? That's an accounting term, being in the red, and moved into the black, meaning that they are no longer in danger of losing money, but are indeed making money. But the term being in the black goes back farther than that. The term was used by white landowners and slaveholders who would talk to each other about their status. And if they were now making more money, it was because they were in the black, meaning that they owned black people and it was profitable. Our words matter, our history matters, and Black lives matter. Never take more than half, leave some for others. I love blueberries so much that I planted 5 blueberry bushes at my house in New Orleans. And I took wonderful care of them. I talked to them. I gave them fish guts and orange peels and set up irrigation for them. I touched their leaves and encouraged their growth. I hummed to them. And I was so elated when I saw those little flowers bursting out. And I could see that small ball of fruit forming when the flowers fell off. And I would come out another day and see those berries getting bigger, but still green. Another day or two, and they were definitely showing signs of pinkness, heading their way to blueness. Just another day or so. The next day, I went out to see how they were doing, and all of a sudden, a flutter of birds comes up from my bushes. No. And I ran to the bushes, and for sure, the birds had eaten almost all the berries. I hunted, and I found a few, and I ate them, but kind of angrily, and maybe with a little bitterness. Maybe the berries were bitter. But I remember thinking, I love the birds, and I want to share with the birds, but not all of my blueberries. Those birds were not following the honorable harvest either. Use it respectfully. Never waste what you have taken. Share. Give thanks for what you have been given. Give a gift in reciprocity for what you have taken. Sustain the ones who sustain you, and the earth will last forever. The indigenous way is to offer the ground where you are harvesting a few leaves of tobacco. It is giving a gift to the land in gratitude for the gifts the land is giving you. So reading these guidelines from the honorable harvest makes so much sense in terms of harvesting from the land and harvesting from animals. But at this time of year, when we begin to harvest from stores and malls to buy presents, can we take these guidelines with us? When you go shopping for holiday presents, can you offer a gift or a small song of gratitude or recognize the personhood in the materials of the gift? What do you use to wrap presents? Have you ever used materials from a garden to wrap a present? How do you feel as you are gathering and wrapping presents? Excited? Grateful? Obligated? Tired? Silly? Satisfied? Confused? Perhaps the guidelines of the honorable harvest can change how we connect with the harvest and the giving. Can we use these same guidelines with our bodies and self-care? What would it feel like to ask permission of our body before feeding it? Ask permission before taking, abide by the answer. Have you tried asking your body for permission before stepping on the scale? What if you heard a no? And what about other forms of harvest? When doing justice work, we receive from that harvest as well the fellowship of community working together on a goal, on a new way of being. As we work toward that goal in an anti-racist, anti-oppressive way, we start to feel what that new way of being might feel like. We start feeling that sense of liberation. What a gift. When doing justice work, we should think about the ones who came before us and think about how we care for them as we care for ourselves and our planet. I've been thinking about what it would feel like to sing songs of gratitude when I am harvesting, either in my little herb garden or when I'm shopping. Some song that I can use as a ritual to remind me that even in the store, I am harvesting. I probably won't sing it aloud, but I just might. Lowe's better get ready. May these teachings of the indigenous people remind us and guide us as we care for our planet, as we care for each other, as we care for ourselves. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. Okay. All right, Jason.
All right. For the month of November, we will continue to collect for our annual holiday activities by sharing the plate for our holiday gift bags. Today, we want to introduce Heather from Beach House to tell us, oh, no? Never mind, take two. So this is the last week for this project, so please give as generously as you can for those in need of our love and support at Christmas. The usher? Okay. Cool. And please join in blessing this offering with hymn number 402, From You I Receive. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Yes, Maria, are you ready to come up?
We speak our chalice extinguishing words in English and Spanish, and I will use call and response to help you understand how to pronounce the Spanish version. We're going to do this all month long to become more familiar with the beauty of the Spanish language. Please join me in reading our chalice extinguishing words in English first. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now in Espanol, I'll say the first line, you repeat. Extinguimos esta llama. Pero no la luz de la verdad. El calor de comunidad. O el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. Hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
Thank you. Please stand as you're willing and able for our closing hymn, number 207, Earth Was Given as a Garden.
Earth was given as a garden, cradle for humanity, tree of life and tree of knowledge, place for our discovery. Here was home for all your creatures, born of land and sky and sea, all created in your image, all to live in harmony. Show to us again the garden where all life flows fresh and free. Gently guide your sons and daughters into full maturity. Teach us how to trust each other, how to use for good our power, how to touch the earth with reverence. Then once more we'll eat and flower. Bless the earth and all your children. One creation makes us whole, interwoven, all connected, planet wide and inmost soul. Holy Mother, life bestowing, bid our waste and warfare cease. Fill us all with grace overflowing. Teach us how to live in peace.
It is our tradition here to join hands around the edges of the sanctuary. If you would like to stay in the center to be surrounded by love, do so. All right. My church is an island in a safe space with a what? in a vast, rough sea. And I am thankful, so thankful. Thank you, Larry. I want us to remember that image of that 22-year-old parliamentarian who ripped that bill, right? We're going to need to rip some bills and burn some stuff, maybe. Jason, will you help us burn what we need to burn? Within each of our hearts, there is a most glorious light. Go forth and let its spark help you understand what troubles both you and others. Go forth and fan the flames of passion to help heal our world. Go forth and spread the warm glow of love, pushing back the coldness of the world. Go forth and share your glorious light with the world. Go now in peace. Drag Story Hour starts in 15 minutes, so get your coffee and your treats.